Hola clase. So today we're gonna talk about a very easy and short topic. So we're gonna talk about the verb saber y conocer. So I have already talked about this before in earlier lessons, but we're gonna go a little bit deeper into the topic. So saber y conocer means to know, but in Spanish we have two different verbs to say to know. In English you have just one. They have different uses and their uses are not interchangeable. We're just gonna try in this lesson to talk about the different uses. First, we're gonna see the conjugation of these verbs. As you already know, they both have irregular yo forms. So yo conozco, yo sé. But I want you to remember the conjugations because we're going to do a practice. Practice number 1, ejercicio uno. We're going to practice conjugations. Conjugate the verb in the parentheses according to its subject. Here you can check your answers. Okay, so we're going to see the different uses because they are not interchangeable, as I said before. Saber is used when you're talking about something that you know. It can be like a piece of information, facts, or any kind of knowledge. So, for example, if you know all the numbers of the Spanish-speaking countries in South America, so like you can say, I know how many, right? So you would use saber. So you know that piece of information. If you know the capital of all the countries in the world, that's also a knowledge. And also, if you know where something is located. So that's like a piece of information that you know. So I know where Mellow Mushroom is in Boone. So then I will use saber because I know that. It's a piece of information that maybe other people don't have it, but I do have it. Also, we use saber when we know how to do something. So for skills, for things that you have learned. So if you have learned how to drive a car or how to drive a bicycle, or if you speak a language, that's something that you know, things that you learned. Okay, and then we have conocer. Conocer is only used when you're trying to express acquaintance or lack of with a person, animal, place, or thing. So, for examples, you can know or be acquainted with a book, right? If you already read it, or if you know the title of the book, a movie, a country, a city that you visited or that you know in photos, but you're expressing that you're acquainted with that place or thing, or even a certain person, or also an animal. Maybe your friend's pet, you know that pet, so you're acquainted with it. If you want to express acquaintance or lack of acquaintance with a person or a pet, you need to use the preposition a after the verb. So this is called the personal a because the preposition a is introducing a person or an animal. So in this case, do you know Carlos? Do you know my cat? This is something that doesn't happen in English, but in Spanish it does. And there are some other verbs that work like that when you're introducing a person or an animal as a direct object, then the personal a is used after the verb. By direct object, I refer to the element in a sentence that's receiving the action directly. So Carlos, in this case, or my cat, in this case, is receiving directly the action of being known by the subject. In this case, the subject is tú. ¿Conoces tú a Carlos? ¿Conoces tú a mi gato? Sí, conozco a Carlos. Sí, conozco a tu gato. So just remember, the personal a is used when you want to express acquaintance with a person or a pet. So we're gonna do an exercise right now. Saber o conocer. You have to select the correct answer between saber or conocer. Remember, saber is used to talk about knowledge, new piece of information that you know, that you have learned. Also to talk about skills or things that you have learned how to do. And then conocer is used to talk about being acquainted with a person, a thing, an animal, or a place. Here you can check your answers. And the last exercise, when you should use the personal a, sorry, there's some mistakes here in the instructions. Decide whether you should or you shouldn't use the personal a in the following sentences. Remember, the personal a after the verb conocer is used to introduce a person or a pet or an animal. And here you can check your answers. Gracias.